Hi and welcome to Australian Game Changers. I'm Ruza Zivkusic-Aftasi. As a new wave of young CEOs continues to rise around the globe, I chat to Ivan Vanis, the brains behind Tasman Logistics. He's one of the few millennial CEOs within the transport and logistics industry who's hungry for more. Vanis became the company's business development manager 7 years ago, taking on the CEO role 2 years later. He's taken Tasman from strength to strength, growing a high-performing team and diversifying the business. Offering end-to-end solutions for his clients, Vanis plans to expand the company nationally, acquiring a business or two along the way. We chat to Vanis and the company's founder Craig Morris at their Brooklyn site in Melbourne. So thank you, Ivan and Craig, for joining us this morning. Ivan, you're one of the few young CEOs within Australia who's made a good mark for yourself over the years. How would you say, what does it take for a young person to become a CEO nowadays?
Good mentors, and I've got mine sitting right next to me. So it all started with Craig and some opportunities that arose, over the last few years. And following that, obviously, good people in general. With our business, the culture in the business is amazing, and the support that I've got to be able to do my job and Craig's job and so on is second to none. So good mentors, number one.
Maybe you can describe how the relationship started, Craig. What values did you see in Vanis, and when did actually Vanis start with the company?
Ivan's in his 11th year now. He started out on the floor, forklift and in and out of the warehouse. Then an opportunity came along in another part of the business for more of a leadership type role away from the hardcore operational side of things. So I very quickly became second in charge of one of our major contracts, and he just built on that. So trusted the customers, and people around him liked working for him. So all the signs were there early days, and definitely not scared of hard work. So in a hurry, very ambitious.
How has the company changed over the years since Ivan has come on board?
Most definitely in the since he's been CEO and in the lead up. So he's pretty dynamic out in the marketing side of things. But since becoming CEO, he's made the group of people his team, and we've brought different people on board in that period of time. So he's moulded a group of people together that, as he said, and it'll be a theme of ours, that the culture and people being happy at work and happy to, that rubs off the customers, can feel that the people that work here are happy and always, nothing's ever too hard. So I think that's been the biggest change, that apart from the growth, as we've grown, selecting the right people and having the commitment from them. And Ivan's really driven that pretty hard, whilst continuing to work in the marketing side of things. And
so you didn't have any hesitations bringing on a young person on board, especially because, transport logistics is such a tough job and it's all about reputation and age. You have to prove your colours, I guess. Was that a hindrance for Vanis when he first started?
No, I don't think so. He had all the good traits, and he was hungry, and I think him being a little bit younger was a bonus for us. So it was just a matter of when the right time was to take control of the ship, so to speak. I didn't see it as a negative at all. I thought that's a positive. And 3 years in, and we're growing, and the company's doubled in size in terms of revenues. The last 3 to 4 years, we've doubled. So,
just how big are you? If you can explain to me, how many customers, what services do you provide? Who are you?
Our customer base is pretty large and diverse. One thing Craig and I have focused on is being diverse, right? So, we started in Tassie, doing a few containers, doing this, doing that, but we wanted to expand into being everything to everyone from a logistics perspective, if that makes sense. So we wanted to, if we've got one customer and we're only providing them one service, we wanted to see what other opportunities there were within that customer rather than just absorbing all new clientele. We've grown by pretty much never saying no. If it's something that doesn't fit within our current business, we'll find a way to make it happen. And the heavy haulage side and a few other warehousing and some other specialised gigs that we're currently doing have sort of led us into that growth with new clients, new opportunities, and also with people. We brought on new people, great people who have come with different traits and expertise. That's been very helpful for our business. So I think we directly employ close to, including subcontractors and drivers, over almost 250 people now and growing. And we love that. We love, the fact that we employ, that sort of number, and we're sort of hoping to break that 1,000 number and keep growing. So we're very excited by people.
Okay, so what about your focus on technology and new softwares and implementation of, fleet and services? How has that changed over the last year or two, and especially during the COVID time?
It's still changing, so we're technology is constantly evolving, and then, to be honest, we've been using a software provider that has sort of done the job but hasn't grown with us. And so that's forced us to look elsewhere, and we've partnered with another company offshore that's helping us build our own tech. And basically that side of things is things that our clients want. So we basically went out to our clients and said, what do you want to see? Because we live in the data age, right? So the more data that we can gather, the better decision making each business can do. So sharing that data with our customers and for them to be able to make decisions, and for us from our end to know the problem before it becomes a problem is a big thing. Before the customer even knows there's an issue, we try and sort of preempt that and solve it. And technology has been helpful. So we're getting very close to going live with our new systems, which we're all very excited about. It's been, we sort of started just pre-COVID. Thankfully for Teams and Zoom and all the online software, we've been able to continue that. We're very excited. I think we're planning to launch our first platform sort of second week of April. So yeah, that's again, it's all about data. It's all been about data.
So how do you meet those customers' needs, and how have those customers' needs changed over the years? Is the expectation different from what it used to be of you?
I think, look, one of the biggest things that's changed, or one of the biggest drivers in customers' requirements now is the level of compliance. All the new laws relative to chain of responsibility, that's forced everyone to spend more money in that area. We employ 4 or 5 people just on compliance nowadays in different areas of the business. So compliance covering safety and the quality of your equipment that's on the road and all that sort of stuff. So that's been a big driver. And to link your performance in that area, chain of responsibility and safety, to link that with some technology is really good. So customers can actually tap in and see live the level of compliance and the reports that are getting done each day, safety checks on trailers, right through to our workshop. All the work that our guys do on the trailers, the servicing, everything's all live. So it's not a case of sending piles of paper to people these days saying, this is what we've been doing. They can actually get it live. So that's been a big thing for the customers. That's one of the biggest changes I've seen in the customer base and the industry.
Have you grown or have you lost any customers during the COVID time?
No, we haven't lost any customers. We've acquired a couple of new ones. Primarily, on bad service from their previous service providers. We've definitely actually acquired more business during COVID. So COVID, you would have spoken to plenty of logistics businesses. COVID wasn't what it was to hospitality, for example, for us. We had our lulls and whatnot, but the business sort of just kept going. There was a massive demand, so and it's been good.
So I guess the question is, what sets you apart? What is so unique about you compared to the competitors out there?
I think one of the major things is, if we say we're going to do something, we do it. We'll analyse a task or a solution for a customer, and if we say that this is how it's going to work, this is what's going to cost, that's what we follow through. I think the experience the customer gets in working with our team, I think that sets us apart as well. It's the customers, but we treat them more like partners than customers. So we like to understand their business fully from start to finish. So providing solutions, understanding their business and providing solutions goes hand in hand.
And Ivan, what exactly drives you? What makes you get out of bed and give you that energy and the hunger for succession?
I just think from where we were 10 years ago to where we are today, we've got 5-year plans and strategies that we want to achieve, and I sort of that's what gets me out of bed is the future vision of where we're going and what we're doing. And when you walk into the office, it's smiles all around. It's even at 7 a.m. when most people have only just got out of bed, we're all coffeeed up and we're smiling and we're ready to attack the day. what we do is quite challenging, and we try and challenge ourselves. I mean, we're in wharf cartage and various other areas, but anyone can move a container from A to B. So we're always out there looking for what's the next challenge, what's the difficult things that we can get involved in, and some of those include, we're involved in a lot of infrastructure projects, moving large concrete beams and, some exciting stuff, if you like, that's outside of the norm. Outside of, a family and everything else, that's always a key driver, but coming to work and hanging out with, my wife always says, you go to work to hang out with your mates, and it's so true. And then it's amazing to be able to say that, because I know a lot of people in my family and friends just dread waking up. I'm the guy that goes to bed on Sunday. We can't wait for Monday.
Yeah.
So it's thanks to Craig for the opportunity and the team. The team, I keep saying the team. We've got a great bunch of people. We come, we hang out, we solve problems together. And all of our customers, I feel we've got personal relationships with our customers. They're not, I like to refer to them more as friends than customers.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, we'll solve it. And it works. It has been for 10 years, it's proven.
But what inspires you? What makes you stay on top of the game? Would you read stuff? Do you look up?
Always reading. I spend a lot of time reading all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
I get text messages at all hours.
So Craig unfortunately will cop the text message at 1 a.m. I've got an idea for tomorrow, or after I've spent 3 hours reading a financial report of a competitor or something like that. ASX listed businesses, tech companies, just anything out there, even some of the big businessmen of our time, there's always something you'll learn from someone. And I think I've surrounded myself with a lot of really amazing people to leverage information off and learn from. It's inspiring to see what people have done and where we could be.
So Craig, is that the benefit of having such a young person on board who's tech-driven and socially aware of, the changes within social media and whatnot,
Yeah, look, I think not just an age thing. I think anyone with those traits would be an asset to a business. I think that it's to have those traits at a younger age, there's much more headroom for advancement, which drives the company forward as well. So.
And where do you see yourselves going, forward from 5 years?
Oh, well, it's always been with us. It's been measured growth. We've never really exposed ourselves to too much risk, and that'll continue. But we've built up a little bit of a war chest now. So I think coming out of COVID, I think there's some opportunities for the industry to consolidate further. I think you're going to see some mergers and acquisitions within the industry in the next 12 to 18 months, and we're aware of that. So we're in tune with what's going on in that space. So I think I see us possibly making 1 or 2 acquisitions and fast-tracking ourselves into other parts of the industry and more of a national footprint than what we have today.
What sort of a change has COVID had on the industry? Do you think it's for the better?
Certainly the parcel express side of things has gone nuts. But I think the supply chains in general, they've all come through pretty good. I think one of the big things that's come out of it for Australia is to, just in time for stuff coming from overseas is no longer the in thing. People are going to hold more inventory in this country on the back of what happened. It was so hard to get things. So I think, and that just creates more jobs and more opportunity, more warehouses, more containers coming in on a regular basis. So I don't think COVID's been too bad for the industry. It's probably given it a bit of a push.
It's proven that we're pandemic proof, to be honest. In a lot of ways, but that main change is just-in-time method. It doesn't work for everyone like it used to. We need to be holding stock in this country, and we need less reliability on certain countries.
But what is the number one thing that you learned throughout that time or the last year?
The thing that I noticed is how resilient our group is, the guys that work in our team. I was a little bit dubious about people working from home, but we went down that path as well, and to my surprise that worked pretty well. So for someone that's a little bit old school, liking to have everyone here every day, that was a bit of a worry, but everything continued to work well, so no hiccups with the customers. So.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add?
Look, we're definitely striving for growth. Like Craig said, we're on the acquisition path. We've got a war chest, we're ready. We've looked at quite a few businesses that we think fit. When you get down the track, you find that they don't. We're very fussy with what we want. Number one thing that has to align, I feel, is culture. We've got a very special culture, and it's, you know, in front of any clients, you know, when they talk about point of difference, everyone can do a tender and, you know, be cheaper than the next guy, but we're not that cheap and nasty business. We never have been. We pride ourselves on our quality of service and our quality of people, and the culture within the business is just, it's the reason we get up to work. My biggest fear is maintaining that culture as, you know, as we grow, as we get to a point where we employ 1,000 or 2,000 people. But I feel that, you know, with the team we've got, we'll get as close to that as possible. So yeah, there's exciting times ahead for us, definitely.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. And best of luck.